All right, can you guys hear me now? Give me some, match that heart button. Give me some fire emojis if you guys can hear me. But here we go. So, like I said, welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McCain. Big win today up in San Francisco. The Dodgers get it done, get their 11th series win of the year, and they win this series. They win today by a score of 1-0. So it was a tight one, and the Dodgers they needed a big outing by Walker Buehler because the run support really wasn't there. Kind of like we saw with Kershaw a couple days ago. And really, he delivered. He follows up that outstanding outing in Arizona with today's performance where his stuff was just straight nasty. The kid Walker Buehler, he was dealing out there, and we know what his fastball can do. 97 plus, right? But today it was those off-speed pitches, the breaking balls, and he's really just getting the command with all of his pitches, and he's really just starting to mow down guys, and I love what I'm seeing about Walker Buehler. So definitely mash that hard button for your boy Walker Buehler. But let's get into you guys. So before we break it all down, talk some Dodger baseball, be sure to let me know where you guys are watching the post-game show so I can shout you guys out. You guys are a part of this show. This is your show here in the post-game. So let's do it. Let's see what we got. We got Maria, great win blue, heart emoji. I love it. Lupe, great pitching from our Dodgers. Proves no need to get a lot of runs to win a game. Work today, but that run support, we're going to have to work on that. The bats really were a little quiet. Max Muncy, shout out to Max Muncy. He was really the player of the game offensively. That 467-foot blast off Madison Baumgartner, and it was waterworks for not only Max Muncy because he hit it in the water, but for Baumgartner, he was a little, Mad Bum was he was a little being a little poor sport, trying to get mad. And the fact is that home run trot was 27 seconds. The average is 22. So it really wasn't that much of an embellished home run trot by Max Muncy. But we'll get into all that. Let's see what we got. We got Bill, heart emojis, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's right. And, we got D.D. Hansen, fire emojis. We got Noriega. We got great pitching. So proud of our Dodgers. You got to love what you're seeing. 11 straight win. 11th straight series win for the Dodgers, 1,226 win against the Giants. So, yes, the Giants lead all time, but when it's San Francisco versus L.A., the Dodgers have the edge there, and they get their 1,226 win. They improved their record to 45-21, best record in the National League. 11 games in front of the Rockies and 17 and a half in front of the Giants. But let's get more of you guys in this. We got Raiders. Baumgartner eats his snot. Yes, Mr. Snot Rocket himself was not too happy. But really going into this game, Madison Baumgartner, he'd been 13-7 all time against the Dodgers. But a lot of that success came in his elite years. Those years where he's doing the golden pitch against the Royals. But really, in recent history, now he's 2-7 against the Dodgers with 4 straight losses. So really, Madison Bumgarner really has not been the elite pitcher that Cy Young. Obviously, today showed me a lot. His ERA doesn't reflect what he's capable of. If by today you saw what he's capable of, now he really upped that trade value. So look for the Giants to get something for Madison Bumgarner because he actually did look really, he pitched very well today. He had command on his stuff. The location on his fastball was there. But really, the Dodgers, I think it was a combination of the Dodgers getting just a little cold offensively, and then Madison Bumgarner did have a quality outing. So here we go. We got D.D. Hansen from Lancaster, heart emoji, baseball, Kevin Mathis. Baumgartner needs to chill the hell out. I'm with you. When did Madison Bumgarner become the sheriff of Major League Baseball to decide what is okay and not okay? What does he not approve with Max Muncy, who really just got a rocket shot off Mad Max was making him really mad. He was making Mad Bum very mad because he took him deep, and really that was the difference of the game. He puts him up 1-0. Muncy later gets a single later in the game, and he really was the player of the game. Max Muncy now on the season, he's hitting 274. That was his 13th home run of the year, 863 OPS, 38 RBIs, and really 2 for 4 today, single and a home run. Offensively, the Dodgers didn't do much, just totaling 5 hits, and without Max Muncy, that would have been a very tight one for the Dodgers. But let's get back into it. We got Raider Mike. Shout me out on the enemy. You're in enemy territory. Major shout out. You're in enemy territory. You're up there repping the boys in blue. We heard it was a big Dodger crowd there today. I know the Dodgers were well represented. And really, it was the snorkel, right? I mean, if it wasn't for Dodger fans, that would be the snorkel. But you guys represented, so big shout out to you for being there. Do you think, Band 55, do you think a move for Smith from the Giants or Doolittle for the Nats? That's a really good question. Will Smith, I mean, just look at him. Save opportunities, 14 of 14 in saves. Opponent, he's just a lefty killer. He's a lefty killer. Opponents are hitting 148 against Will Smith, and he would really fit the bill as that rocket lefty that could bridge his way for Kenley Jansen. So Will Smith is having a better season than Doolittle, but maybe a change of scenery for Doolittle to the Dodgers could really bode well, and he could get back on track. So with Doolittle, you never know. Is his ERA because he's on a losing team? Well, Will Smith, he's also on a losing team, and he's really had a better year. So we're going to talk about that too, about Farhan mentioning he did not close the door on the possibility of dealing with the Dodgers. And we're going to talk about that in just a bit. But we got Dahan Bomjan from New York City. All right, New York. So you're talking about Brooklyn-born, L.A. raised. Very fresh T-shirt. Be sure to go to the Dodgers Nation store to get your merchandise. Great fitting T-shirts. Next time you're at the Ravine, sport one of our T-shirts. We got Yoban Chavez. Let's go Dodgers. This was a pitcher's game, no doubt about it. It absolutely was your classic pitcher's duel. And really, you got to give Baez credit. He did come in there and he did get the outs, but geez, I mean, I was not very confident with Baez out there. He goes out there, and he's getting solid contact out there. Yastrzemski, he hits one deep that's probably going to go yard in another ballpark. So this time next year, if those fences are in, that could have been a jack. He walks. He walked Longoria, of course. He gets on to face Sandoval, but really he painted the corner, and he really had a really nice pitch sequence there to get it out. So 26 pitches for Javier Baez in that inning, but he got Sandoval out with that high cheese, end of the inning. So say what you want. Baez, really, he's the most dependable other than Kenley Jansen right now. So, but I'm not very confident. We'll talk about some trades. I know you guys will always want to talk bullpen, trade talk heating up. July 31st is not in the distant memory. It's really approaching quickly here. So we'll talk all about that. We got John Davenport, St. Louis, Missouri. Shout out. I hope you're repping the boys in blue out there in St. Louis. The real Jackson, 1-0 victory today. Another shout out. Sweet. Exactly. Anytime you can win games like this with this Dodger pitching staff that really has been absolutely dominant, you got to love the fact that they can get it done. Because the Dodgers, like I was just pointing out, our boy, the Rick K, was on the Blue Heaven podcast talking about the Dodgers offense and how after the sixth inning, they lead Major League Baseball with most runs scored. They're averaging 2.5 runs after the sixth inning, and really they weren't able to get any insurance runs tonight. But still, the Dodgers, they were able to get it done. And really, the pitching staff is just absurd. Check this out. Since April 25th, 2.5, that's the ERA. Most average inning per start. So that's really the big thing, is the fact that they're averaging the most innings per start, meaning they're getting quality appearances, quality starts from top to bottom, all the way from Ryu to Maeda and everything in between. And what that's doing is it's really putting a Band-Aid on this bullpen that has struggled mildly. So it's the lack of walks. I mean, really, they're doing it all. They lead the majors in lowest walks per 9 innings at 1.86. Ryu, 0.59 walks per 9. Kershaw, 1.36. And then Buehler as 1.58. So the Dodgers on their staff right now have 3 of the top 4 as far as as walks per 9 innings. The other one in there is a former Dodger in Zach Greinke at 1.44. So yes, the pitching staff, they're absolutely dominating. And really, today you got to give the defense credit. So we got Joseph Megazzeni from downtown LA. Let's check back into you guys who we got. 1927. Nick, great pitching Dodgers watching in Cardiff, Wales, the UK. All right, so there it is. We got Nick from Wales. He might be the winner of the distance winner today as far as watching the Dodgers Nation post-game show all the way in Wales. I love it. Andres Contreras, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Let's go Dodgers. Andres Contreras, one of our regulars here. We got the real Jackson. Buehler got the win. Yes, Buehler, he goes in there, and really, you just saw what he's able to do. What he's able to do now, he's really starting to catch fire. It does start to feel like he's starting to really make a push for that all-star appearance. And check this out. He's after today he's 7-1. You're looking at 78 strikeouts now on the season. And really, he's just been incredible. Last 5 starts going in today, he was 2-1 with a 2.25 ERA, 37 Ks on 32 pitches. So he's been great against lefties, third lowest OPS versus left-handed batters. And really, that's what it comes down to, is his ability to just get it done. And he's really, really looking like ace potential, Cy Young caliber, all those great accolades that you want to think he has the potential of. And the kid is only 24, and you got to love what you're seeing from Walker Buehler. So we got, who else we got? We got SD Dodger. Hey, Doug, what's up, SD Dodger? We got George Egnor, Paulding, Ohio. Let's go Dodgers. We got Eric OC, it's good because Mad Max got our back. Mad Bum got his feelings hurt. Yes, Mad Bum totally got his feelings hurt. And it happened in the top of the first inning. Mad Max, he comes in and he just turns on, and it's a 426-foot blast. And he's all butthurt because of that home run trot. But I mean, if you look at it, it was a 27-second home run trot. League averages 22. So, Mad Bum, not only was it not that far off the average, you approached him, which was a little awkward. It was almost reminding me of Mike Piazza and Roger Clemens, where the batter had nothing, he didn't do anything wrong. In this case, Max Muncy. And really, everyone was really excited to see what was going to happen the next time he faced Baumgartner and if there was going to be a heated exchange. But look, Mad Max, you repped and you really were the player of the game offensively. 2 for 4. You got a single later in the game. And getting more into this game, let's get into more of you guys, though, real quick. We got Jacob. Yeah, everyone's hating on Madison Baumgartner. I mean, come on, man. You really need to just take a chill pill. Honestly, you should feel good about your appearance today. Going into this game, he had really struggled. It was not the Madison Baumgartner that we're used to seeing, and really, he really struggled. And going into this game, it was really a nice performance from Madison Baumgartner, who the Giants now, they're licking their chops after this performance to see what they can get. Baumgartner released his list of teams he was considering, people like the Cubs, St. Louis, teams like the Yankees. So you wonder if they're going to, what that means now as far as him bumping his trade value after today. So we got Rodney Taylor. Only bad thing about not having Puig, he gets under Mad Bum's skin. Great point. But unfortunately, his on-base percentage is what it is with the Reds. He's really having career lows in most major categories. Yes, we're missing that right-handed pop as far as his ability to hit home runs, but I don't think we're missing much from Puig. But you're right. If he could just suit it up for the Dodgers just when we play the Giants and face Madison Baumgartner, that would be kind of nice. You could do a little one-game trade, let us use Puig, and get under Mad Bum's skin. I like that. But Walker Buehler today, he was outstanding, and he just has that no-hit stuff. He attacks hitters with that fastball, and it starts and ends with that fastball. And everything goes from that, and you just saw today what he can do when he has command of all of his other pitches and how it really keeps batters off balance. So where else you guys checking in from? We got Logan Jones. What up, Logan? One of our Dodgers post-game regulars. We got Rodney Taylor. Puig. Look, Puig was great. Puig was great while I was here. It was fun while it lasted. It was like having like dating a rock star. You have that fling. And it's those high highs, low lows, but it's not going to end well. And the Dodgers got out when they did. Raider Mike, thank you for repping hard up there in the up in the Bay. I know you're at the game repping hard. Joseph Megazzeni, can you have 2 Will Smiths on the roster? I don't see any reason why you can't have 2 Will Smiths on the roster, especially if it helps having that bullpen shored up, because that's really the most important need right now for the Dodgers. But Will Smith, a lot of you guys wanting Will Smith to stay up, but you think about it, Austin Barnes, really, before he was injured, he was slashing 292, 414, and 375 in his last 7, and really he was slugging 432, had an OPS of 816. So really, Barnes is a player that we know he's elite when it comes to blocking balls, when it comes to framing pitches. And having Austin Barnes behind the plate is not something that you want to not have. I don't care how well Will Smith performed. And yes, look at this. Down the line, that's an insurance policy. If Barnes really starts slumping, we know we can dip back in there and get Will Smith and put him back up here from the minors, because Will Smith, though, if he's not going to get those reps, you have to send him down. You have to let him continue to develop, because last year Will Smith in AAA was not faring very well. This year he's turned it around offensively, and if you have him up here not playing regularly, you don't want to risk that development because it's been great. So Raider Mike, bring up Will Smith again. Like I said, I think it's better to have him down in AAA developing, especially considering that Austin Barnes, he's got a command of the pitching staff, one of the best frame pitchers in Major League Baseball, great at blocking balls. I mean, we saw what happened with Yasmani Grandal last year with blocking balls. Austin Barnes is really a defensive specialist. His arm is a little, is nothing too impressive as far as his ability to throw out runners, but I think right now you got to give Austin Barnes his spot back. But let's see what else we got. We got Logan Jones, Madison Bumgarner to the Dodgers confirmed. That would be pretty hilarious. I mean, if you guys didn't see this with Farhan was on the radio and he was talking a little bit about how they were going to. He did not shut the door on the idea of making a move with the Dodgers. So Farhan, he's a guy who understands what he's got to do as far as doing what's best for his franchise. And yes, the Dodgers, they have not made very many trades with the Giants. In fact, the last trade was back in 2007 when the Giants traded Mark Sweeney for Travis Denker. And the thing is, there's only been 3 trades since 1958 between the Dodgers and the Giants. So they really have not negotiated that often. And both teams are going to win that deal. But who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I never thought I'd see Rajon Rondo in a Lakers uniform. I never thought I'd see Steve Nash in a Lakers uniform. We've seen stranger things, but I just don't know if I see Madison Bumgarner. But I think the more important thing is the fact that Farhan would consider shipping off Tony Watson or guys like Will Smith. Andreas Rodriguez. We got what is going on with Bellinger. So Bellinger, that is the thing. Cody Bellinger, yes, he is looking just a little human, and really it's not the worst thing. Cody Bellinger has there's no question that he's the MVP. There's no question that he's been the surprise of the season, but he's really, I think he was 2 of 17 this series, and really he struggled a little bit. So look for him to get back on track. You couldn't expect him to really dominate the whole season. It is a long season, peaks and valleys. He's going to have some off games. But really, yes, he has struggled just a little bit. His last 7 games going in today, he was hitting .240, slugging .320, 6 strikeouts, and no home runs. Last 15, Cody Bellinger hitting .241, slugging .483. So you compare, he has slipped just a little bit, but don't worry too much about Cody Bellinger because, like he said, the difference between this year and last year is he does have that ability to get some adjustments. And one stat I wanted to give you guys about Cody Bellinger today, check this out. So Cody Bellinger, as far as his OPS goes, best OPS seasons, age 24 or younger, minimum 200 at-bats. You got Ted Williams at 1287 back in 1941. He was 22. Gehrig, 1240 back in 27. Jimmy Fox back in 1932. He had 1218. And then Mickey Mantle had an OPS of 1169 back in 1956. Cody Bellinger at 23. He has an OPS of 1,164. So, yes, Bellinger, he has slipped a little bit, but that's how it is. That's the ebbs and flows of a baseball season because for every Cody Bellinger, you got a guy like a David Freese. David Freese has just been absolutely clutch. He's been everything the Dodgers were hoping for when they brought him from Pittsburgh to be that locker room presence, to be a guy that you can put in clutch situations. And this year, as a pinch hitter, he's hitting .438, 4 doubles. This season, he's hitting .296 with a .997 OPS and so really you got to love what you're seeing. 11th best slugging in his last 23 starts, 6th best OPS in baseball. So he's gotten it done. So that's going to help with some of these struggles. You know, Verdugo is not looking like he's not looking like he was earlier. So Verdugo has slipped just a little bit. And I know a lot of people asking about A.J. Pollock, Verdugo, but let's get back up with you guys. So let's get back up. Talk to you guys. Tell me what you guys want to talk about here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. If you have not yet, let me know where you're watching the show from. We got Isabel. Don't watch the ball, just run. That's what Bum said. If you don't want me to watch Get Out of the Ocean, Mac's response is 100. Isabel, I'm with you, okay? You're worried about the home run shot, then don't just lay it out there and have your boy Max Muncy crush it, because that's exactly what he did. We got Richard. What's up with Baumgartner in L.A.? I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you guys be okay with Baumgartner in L.A.? I mean, I can't really see that. That's something that he didn't include the Dodgers in his list of teams that he was considering, but anything is possible. We got Anita Felix and get rid of Barnes. LOL. That's the thing about Barnes. You know, he's been hitting better, and he's an elite pitcher. I mean, he's an elite catcher as far as framing pitches and defensively. But let's get back into, let's see here. We got Dodger. Nationals hit 4 consecutive home runs against the Padres. That's what I'm talking about. Nice job, Nationals. We do want to keep the trade values of Sean Doolittle lower, so we want to increase that. So don't win. But we got Stephen Ford. Great pitchers. Dool, love it. Who do you think Mad Max's bomb would be it? Way to get the series win after Friday's tough loss. Yes, Friday was a tough loss. The Dodgers hadn't lost 2 straight going into Friday's game since April 24th and April 25th, and that was a road matchup against the Cubs. So the Dodgers hadn't lost. They hadn't dropped back-to-back games since all the way back in late April. So, yes, it was a tough game. The offense didn't show up. And that's the thing. The 2019 offense is something that is really, this series was, I'm hoping, an aberration. Yes, they had a nice outpouring of runs yesterday. They had 7 runs. And Corey Seager, we haven't talked about Corey Seager yet. He looks like he's locked in. He showed up yesterday. Today he ripped another one, and he's really playing well. Corey Seager, yesterday 4 for 5. He's hitting .414 with a home run, 9 RBIs in his last 7. It was his first 4-hit game in 14 months, and he really made him pay yesterday for walking Cody Bellinger. So Corey Seager providing that protection, and you love that. So you look at Corey Seager, it's really his upper body, and it's really he's staying relaxed at the plate, and he's raised his batting average all the way up from 225 to 270 in 2 weeks. So, yes, Verdugo slipping. Looks like he's dealing with an apparent back injury. Cody Bellinger, I mean, the definition of slipping for him is still elite player. Look for him to turn it around. But the encouraging signs is really Corey Seager. Muncy's playing well. Justin Turner, he's still hitting .312 with an .847 OPS. And really, him is kind of weird. He's got those reverse splits with righties and lefties. But offensively, the Dodgers are really looking okay. Hopefully today is an aberration. They're averaging over 5 runs a game. But let's get back into the mix with you guys. The Dodgers Nation represent hard out here. Where you guys at? We got Manuel Lancaster in the house. Anita Felix. Get rid of Barnes. We got Pedro Baez Jack as Dodgers. We got Jerry Moss. Let's get Watson. Watson, who the Dodgers got from Pittsburgh, couple years ago, really, he came in and he was effective for the Dodgers. Dodgers really shouldn't have let him go. And if they're able to get him back, remember the Dodgers, our expert, Tim Rogers, the trade expert for Dodgers Nation, he really thinks the Dodgers need 2 relief pitchers. So if we could get a little 2-for-1 deal, bring in Will Smith, bring in a Tony Watson, that would probably be the way to go. And I think that's something that I would entertain too. So I'm with you on that. Get Watson. Let's see here. Let's get all these out of the way. Ventura Beach, J. Robert, Bobby. What up from Ventura Beach? Yaris Blake, that Muncy quote is savage. I didn't even see that. Thanks for putting me up on that, guys. But I love the fact that Max Muncy said that. Another quote, another chapter in the Dodgers rivalry could be going on. So my friend earlier was talking about how Puig was the guy who got under Baumgartner's skin. Maybe Max Muncy, he's that guy moving forward. So we got Logan Jones. we need to bring Will Smith back up. He's a spark plug for the offense. Will Smith has been phenomenal. There's no denying that. You get that home run. He had a home run the other day. And really, my thing with Will Smith, I'm impressed by just the pitches he's hitting and the counts he's hitting them at. He's hitting breaking balls late in the count when really young hitters are looking for fastballs and trying to time fastballs, and he's going down and he's launching breaking balls. So Will Smith, we look as far as with Ruiz, Will Smith, that at the catcher's position moving forward, that we're going to be okay. So at worst, we have insurance for if Austin Barnes struggles. And then also we know that we don't want to trade him or include him in a trade package. So we got Steven. Good news. Took the series, though they only scored 1 run Friday and 1 today. So that's the thing. The Dodgers today did not really get it done offensively. And coming into the game, the Giants were the problems too. The Giants were 0-7 with runners in scoring position, and you got to hope that it really is an aberration for this Dodger offense. Because really, if you look at all these offensive categories, the Dodgers are dominating. They have a 10.3% walk rate, second in Major League Baseball, 77% contact rate, fifth in Major League Baseball, first in the NL, and the Dodgers offense leads the NL in runs, walks percentage, ranks second in homers and strikeout rate, and really they're strong against righties and lefties. So really, maybe we've been griping about the bullpen for the first couple months. Maybe the bullpen gets right, and then the focus is on the Dodger offense, because really with the Dodger offense, you got to look at guys like Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor, 224. He's hitting 224 on the season. His last 7 games, CT3, 143, 48 strikeouts. Kike Hernandez, who came into this game just raking against Madison Bumgarner. He had been hitting .511 against Madison Bumgarner, and he really didn't fare well. He's hitting .214 on the season with an OPS of .682. Last 7 for Kike, .192. So he is providing some power, but we're going to talk a little bit about that, about how they can potentially upgrade that second base position. But let's get back into it. We got Jamie from Stanton, California here. We got Steven Lettner. The good news, we got Tina Goodman. The starters are fine. The bullpen is the issue, as always. That's what it is. The bullpen is still the issue. But really, you got Joe Kelly. He's had 3 straight scoreless. Baez today, he got out of it. Yes, that he did give some good contact. He did walk a guy. But really, Baez has been okay. Really, Scott Alexander is the one that is just really, really tanking. Scott Alexander is a guy who's supposed to be a specialist against lefties, and he's having the reverse splits with lefties and righties out there. So I agree with you on that one. But let's take a look at some more of these comments. So outscored San Francisco 9-4 for the series. J. Robert Bobby. Yes, they did outscore the Giants, and yes, that is their park is not conducive to really explosive nights as far as offensively, and really it took its toll, I think, along with the fact that Dodgers, they're starting to really grind out these games against their NL opponents, and yes, Bellinger has dipped a little bit. Verdugo is clearly dealing with a back injury, but yeah, you got guys like Muncy who are stepping up, but CT3, Kike, they're cold right now. But the Dodger offense in general, though, they're clutch. 2.5 runs per game, 6th inning or later, and they're batting .265 this year with the tying run on base or at bat. So it's tough to criticize this Dodger offense when, as far as the numbers go, they're still amongst the league leaders in all of Major League Baseball and dominate the majors in basically every category. They're second in the National League with home runs at 100 behind the Brewers, who have 116, but the Dodgers have like 100 less strikeouts. So there's something to think about there. Here we go, though. We got Raider Mike. We need the closer from Toronto. He's a beast. He's nice. You can't he's someone that I would think about. But yeah, let's get back into that. You want to talk some trades? Let's talk some trades. And here we go. Yeah, we could talk some trades, and I agree. Giles is good. He's a guy who can definitely help this lineup. And that's the thing with Kimbrel off the board. Let's all relax. We were never going to get Kimbrel for a couple reasons. One, Dodgers were never going to pay him $45 million, especially considering what they shelled out for Kenley, what they shelled out for Joe Kelly, and they're not going to be doing that for a guy, Kimbrel, who really, I mean, this guy was on the verge of a meltdown last year in the ALCS, and he's a guy who's getting up there, 333 career saves, but he was never going to take that role for the simple fact he didn't want to be a setup guy. Kelly doesn't want to be a setup guy, and there was all kinds of issues there. And I honestly think that in the long run, the Dodgers have the resources and the trade packages to get someone better than a Kimbrel. But and also the exciting thing too is the Farhan news. The news that Farhan Zaidi said that you always want to help your team, and that he was not totally against the idea of dealing with the Dodgers. And the interesting thing there is the last time the Dodgers dealt with the Giants was back in 2007 with the Mark Sweeney for Travis Denker trade. And at the time, Brian Sabian, he was the GM of the Giants, and Ned Colletti, he was with the Dodgers. And you look at it, it's the same situation. You got the mentor and the apprentice, and you're looking with your old boss, and it's the same situation, the same dynamic there as far as Farhan working with Andrew Friedman. So you have to believe that he understands, and also Farhan makes the point too that you really should. The incentive is there to deal with your NL rivals, because especially when you're the Dodgers and you have one of the best farm clubs in Major League Baseball, is to weaken that farm system, and you do that by making trades and try to deplete their assets as far as their prospects go. Maybe they want an Edwin Rios or one of the top 10 prospects, but let's get back into this. Let's recap this game a little bit and talk about that play. Brienne, 55. The Dodgers did have that amazing play by Turner, and the Dodgers lead all of Major League Baseball in defensive runs saved, and that was a perfect example because that was really the key inning for the Dodgers in ending any type of threat, because the leadoff batter got on, and they got Yastrzemski, but then Walker gave up that base hit to Longoria, giving the Giants runners on the corners, and it looked like it was going to be trouble. With no one out, runners at the corners, and Justin Turner, like you said, Brianna, he makes a phenomenal play. They mentioned the Stanley Cup. He looked like a goalie saving the play, and he might have saved the game for the Dodgers by doing that, because it was hot off the bat. He stabs at it, and they get Vogt to fly out on that 0-2 pitch. And like I said, the Giants today, they couldn't get it done. 1 for 17 on the series for runners in scoring position, 0 of 6 today. And then he gets Kevin Pillar to fly out to center on the first pitch. And just like that, Walker Buehler was out of that jam. So let's get back into this. Bring back Jay Howe. He's another name. It's hard when you see guys leaving the Dodgers that you feel could help them now. But let's get back into this. Raider Mike, bring back Pena. He's another one. We got Ruth, awesome game. Roman and Naguri. Starting rotation is solid. We just need a lefty in the bullpen that actually gets hitters out from Fontana. That's the thing about the bullpen. It's the inherited runners that the Dodgers bullpen is not very adept at getting out. The Dodgers have issues with that. Second to last in strikeouts per 9. So not only they're giving up inherited runners, they're not striking out many batters. Yes, they're not walking many. They're among the leaders in that, but they are not striking out many, second to last. And since May 19th, runners are hitting .346 against the Dodgers in scoring position with runners in scoring position. So that tells you right there that it's those high leverage, high pressure situations that the Dodgers don't have guys that can come in and get the job done. But the good thing is, yes, the starters, they're going deep into games. They're masking a lot of these deficiencies. Another perfect example today, 7 innings by Walker Buehler. If this game was more critical, Buehler could have gone longer. But let's see how we can help that let's see here. Oh, Tina, he said that was for my boy Puig, that homer. Eric also, is it Lima time? Shout out to 2004. We got Hunslow Views watching from London, England. All right, London, England in the mix. I love it. A couple of 100 miles further. So you win the day. I like it. I want to see. You better screenshot those maps. I need some verification, but no, I think you're right. You're definitely right. I think you are the winner right now. Jerry Moss would like to see Will Smith of the Giants. Robert, if Greinke can relieve, bring him on. Otherwise, why? Daniel Lopez, what up? What up, Daniel? The Real Jackson. Who are we playing next? We got a 2-game series against the Angels. We're going to wipe out another one of our rivals. This case is the Freeway Series. But getting back into that bullpen, you're right. The Dodgers, they really don't forget, you got guys like Caleb Ferguson. So look out for Caleb Ferguson, who has slowly but surely started to really regain his ability as a pitcher in the minors. So lefties, he's really starting to do it. He's holding lefties to a 222 batting average, and he's working his way back up in AAA. He's absolutely killing it in AAA right now. He's pitched 6 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 11 strikeouts. All those strikeouts coming in just 6 innings. So Ferguson, he could come back. He could help out a little bit, but it's really the issue. They can't afford Scott Alexander to come in and blow these games. Scott Alexander, lefties are hitting 364 against him with an OPS of 976. So he's been effective against righties. Righties are hitting 143 against him, but against lefties, 364 with an OPS of 976. So there you have that. But really, I think the Dodgers too. Yes, we want to talk bullpen, and there are the guys that are out there. They're the guys like the Jake Diekman, the Liriano. Our boy Tim Rogers really likes Liriano, and he's really better against righties, but this guy is really, really talented. Ken Giles, you got Alex Colon from the White Sox. Shane Green is a guy I think could come in. Ian Kennedy from the Royals. And then Givens from the Orioles is a guy, they're going to be sellers. So there's some standout relievers that are going to be there that the Dodgers can really, really look to help out. So with the offense as it is, though, don't lose sight of the fact that really you have to also consider the fact that the Dodgers really need to make a move for a right-handed bat. So this is what we need to accept, though. Dodger fans from 2015 to 2018, Andrew Friedman has picked up 40 players between June and August. So Hill, Floro, Freese, Taylor, a lot of key contributors, and a lot of them are by necessity. We lose Seager, so we make the move for Manny Machado. Kershaw's having injuries. He's kind of slipping, so they get Yu Darvish. This is the case where you want to see the Dodgers make a move that's more of a proactive move, not a move that's done by necessity, because really there's a lot of moves that can help get this team really over the top. But back to you guys a little more. Let's see. We got Raider Mike, Wah. We got Logan James. When will Chase Utley debut on TV? I've seen him on TV a couple times, the Silver Fox. He's doing his thing. He's thinking about doing some TV. I'm sure he'll be really, really good at it. We got Mark Chung. I want to see Max walk back, flip the bat high in the air, and dance the bases. Hey, just do it. You never know, man. Just throw the bat at Madison Bumgarner. Start doing some cartwheels. Do what you got to do. Because Mad Bum, come on, have some fun out there. You're taking yourself a little too seriously, and you really just gave up a jack. You got sour. Mr. Snot Rocket himself. He's acting a little snotty, right? But we got our starting rotation is absolutely filthy. We talked about it earlier. You really can't stress enough how dominant the starting pitching is. And since April 25th, 2.5 ERA, lowest opponent since May 1st, the starting pitching, lowest opponent average at 208, lowest OPS 580, lowest ERA at 2.26. Also, they have the most average innings per starter, so you're getting quality outings. And really, Walker Buehler seems to be the hottest one other than Ryu. Both Ryu and Walker Buehler, they're absolutely dominating. Rich Hill, he's been playing great. Yesterday wasn't his best, but really top to bottom. The Dodger offense, the Dodger pitching are really, it starts with the pitching, offense is raking, it's all about the bullpen, and really that's the thing. The Dodgers are, it's like having a really nice Rolls Royce and there's just a scratch on it. That scratch being the bullpen, and we need to get that buffed out because it's not like the transmission's out, because if it was the pitching staff being this down, there's not a lot of moves you can make. If it was the offense, if there was a lot of holes in the offense, and a lot of the offense really has started to really correct itself. Because if you look at 2018, the offense, the Dodgers struck out the 8th most times in baseball last season with 1,436 strikeouts. 16 runs was all the Dodgers could get in 5 games against the Red Sox in the Fall Classic at one, and they were hitting 180. So really, don't underestimate Robert Van Scoyoc, the Dodgers' new approach, where they're working counts, where they're finding ways and holes in pitchers, and to get that third appearance against starting pitchers and really start beating up on that bullpen. And really, they've done it against elite bullpen pitchers. They did it against Hader. They did it against Diaz. So really, this Dodger lineup has shown they can be clutch. As we pointed out earlier, Rick K-stat, about 2.5 runs after the 6th inning, which leads Major League Baseball. But let's see, as Dodger, Puig down to 207 today. He doesn't realize how good the Dodgers staff helped him. I think you're right. Our CG416, our starting rotation is absolutely filthy. Damn right, they are nasty, like Verdugo likes to say, and they're just doing the damn thing as the pitchers. Ruth Arriaga, Giants are crybabies. Hey man, it can't be easy. It can't be easy for your rival, the Dodgers, to go and we're gonna walk to our 7th straight NL championship, their NL division crown. We're going to win that 3rd pennant likely. That can't be easy, and it's clear they are very, very sour about that. We got Jamie Jansen saves. Kenley Jansen, he's really starting to get things cracking again. If it wasn't for that outing in San Diego, really, he would be just fine. Kenley Jansen, and today it was the slider. I mean, he was favoring that slider, and like Oral pointed out, I mean, the cutter is like going to be his out pitch. The pitch he doesn't throw as many times. And 25 games this season, 2-1, 19th save of the year for Kenley, 3.16 ERA. But those 4 home runs are really why that ERA is kind of goose-like it is. But let's get back into this. We got Jamie. Let's not forget Seager, 4 of 7, 7 for 12. In San Francisco series. Yes, if you had to give offensively a player of the series, you got to go with Corey Seager. He's locked in. He had his first, he's hitting .414 with a home run, 9 RBIs in his last 7 games, and that's something to be really, really be excited about for Corey Seager. But yes, the bullpen, the Dodgers, let's just talk about the bullpen because that's what really needs to be looked at since they're the 18th in the sport in FIP, 20th in ERA. And yes, I do want to see those guys you're talking about. I don't care what it takes. I would consider moving a Ross Stripling. I would consider moving someone like a Rios or someone like a CT3 or Hernandez, or if you have to give up a top prospect, if it's someone that will get you a guy like a Doolittle, like someone like a Giles or a Shane Green, someone that can come in. You don't want to be like those Tigers teams that are losing World Series because they don't have an adequate bullpen, and really you have to avoid that if you're the Los Angeles Dodgers. But, like we have a really great piece right now about trades that weren't made by Clint Evans. So go to Dodgers Nation. Check out Clint Evans' piece about trades that we didn't make as the Dodgers that really turned out to be blessings in disguise. They turned out to really be the right move because look at Jock Peterson and Corey Seager for 1.5 seasons of David Price. Peterson, Seager, and Julio Urias for 4 years of Cole Hamels. Same trio for Jose Fernandez in 2015. Alex Verdugo for Brad Hand or J.D. Martinez for rentals in 2017. Bellinger for J.T. Realmuto. And then Peterson to the White Sox for a player potentially. So there are trades that don't get made that you have to consider that the Dodgers, their patience is really, it works in their favor because you don't want to give up on guys. But let's get back into it. We got Tina. Always great for the Dodgers beat the hated ones. Exactly. Big win. The Dodgers, like I said earlier, they get their 1,226 win against the Giants. They improve their record to 45-21. Best record in the National League. 11 games in front of the Rockies. 17.5 in front of the Giants. 37-13 their last 50 games, and they've won their 11th straight series. So we got my boy Raider Mike, please no Puig. We got Tina. It's always great when the Dodgers beat the Hades one. Patty Figueroa from Covina. What is up, Patty? How you doing? Logan, we need Will Smith back. I agree. Will Smith, he looked impressive today, and he's someone that if it's not Giants, if it's not Dodgers, if you don't have that tension and that history, that's a player that the Dodgers would definitely prioritize. It's just overcoming the whole Dodgers-Giants dynamic. And like I said earlier, Brian Sabean and Ned Colletti, they made that Sweeney move, and you think that's the same situation with someone like Freeman and Farhan. So that could be the case. Barnes is a slump. Barnes, before he got injured, Barnes was really his best self at the plate. He was living his best life at the plate, and you got to give him a couple of games to really get back in the swing of things as far as offensively. Joseph Megazzeni, the clubhouse has a lot of respect for Barnes. That they do. They do have a lot of respect for Barnes because he comes in, he does the dirty work, and he's really elite as far as a defensive catcher goes. But the great thing now is now we know we have options. Like, don't kid yourself. The Dodgers, they were very eager to improve that catching position, especially when you saw those pass balls with Grandal, especially when you saw those strikeouts with Grandal, and they were considering Real Muto until their asking price got a little out of hand. So the Dodgers do have Will Smith, and don't kid yourself. When it comes to offensively, if the Dodgers aren't getting it done, and Will Smith has shown that he can produce at the plate, they will consider that if Barnes really sinks to a level that they would have to make a move of that magnitude. But Mark Chun, Will Smith is solid. He will be up here soon enough. He was fun to watch. That's a really great point, Mark. Will Smith, he's gonna be here. He's 24. He's gonna be a catcher for the Dodgers at some point, and you're gonna see him in the not too distant future. So that's something to look at. But really, the Dodgers need to make sure they have those right-handed bats. I want to know what you guys think about the idea of bolstering that second base spot. I really like Merrifield from the Royals. I mean, he's a top 5 second baseman. And the Dodgers, look what happened with Dozier. They bring in Dozier last year. Dozier, he was an absolute bust for the Dodgers. He really didn't do very much. And the Dodgers, they've shown that they need some right-handed batting. So when A.J. Pollock comes back, they need to find a way to make sure he can potentially contribute because you're losing Puig's home runs, and really you got to get it done from that side of the plate because let's say they play the Chicago Cubs in the playoffs and you go against guys like Quintana, Cole Hamels, John Lester. That's a lot of lefty starters, and you want to have some balance. You need some hitters that can counterbalance that lefty-heavy offense that the Dodgers have. So guys like a Merrifield, you never know what they could do as far as that. But really, their offense too, the runners in scoring position is really what it comes down to. We saw that back in 2017, 239, 25th in Major League Baseball with runners in scoring position. Last year, 253, 13th in Major League Baseball, and then this year they're improving. So they're less home run reliant. And it's not they're hitting less home runs, but the percentage of their runs are not coming solely from that deep ball. And really, I think that that's something they need to consider as far as adding more stuff. But let's see what we got here. Let's get back in the mix. Mark Chung, you like Barnes. I like him too. Real Jackson, it's interesting how teams get rid of good players if the teams won't make the playoffs. I mean, this is a league. You make a great point. With the trade deadline different, it's July 31st. There's not going to be moves after that. And teams really, they're playing with it's win or go home. It's go big or go home because they know if you're just going to make the playoffs, that could lead to a situation where you're having to mortgage future talent just to make a wild card game. And if you win that wild card game, you're playing teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Astros, top heavy teams. So right now we're seeing it's about the juggernauts. It's the haves and the have-nots. And the have-nots are saying to yourself, look, if we're not going to be a contender, we might as well just sell the farm and do something like the Astros did and really just try to rebuild from the ground up. So you got to admire what the Dodgers have been able to do. They've been able to develop young talent like Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger, Alex Verdugo, while they've been able to still bring on vets like a Justin Turner. Kershaw's still Kershaw. Guys that can it's a perfect blend of veterans and youth, but not all teams in Major League Baseball have that luxury. But John Groobs, our pitching is unreal. You're totally right with that. Our pitching is unreal. And here we go here. We got, let's see what else we got. If you guys have not checked in, like I said, we got UK repping strong today. We got UK out there in Premier League country. Who's your Premier team? Let me know who you guys follow in the Premier League. I know Liverpool won the Champions League, right? With Jamie, 7 for 12 this series. Corey Seager, I'm telling you, watch out for Corey Seager. Jess, she pointed out, Jess Amore, a big friend of the show, she said that Corey Seager was going to be the player of the month for June. I said Walker Buehler was going to be the pitch of the month for June. And as of right now, it looks like we're both going to be right because Corey Seager, 4-hit day yesterday, and he looks like he's really starting to make things happen. But let's keep it moving. We got Kevin. Because if you trade for a Giant, it's like cancer. Nothing good comes out of it. That's pretty intense. But, remember Jason Smith? Yes, Jason Smith, that was not good. I mean, there's been your examples of things that haven't worked out, but I think in this situation, it's not a starting pitcher. It's not a bat. It's a relief pitcher that's going to come in and hand the ball off to Kenley Jansen, who in the last month or so is starting to look like he's that dominant reliever, that dominant closer that we know him to be. We got Raider Mike, no more Giant trash. Then Raider Smith, Wilson, Romore, or garbage. Yes, the track record is not very good, but I would not make those comparisons because Will Smith is a guy who doesn't look like he's at the tail end of his career. He's a guy that looks like he still has it in him, and he's a guy that I wouldn't completely roll out. Like I said, 14 of 14 in saves this year. Opponents are hitting sub 150 against him. So he's a guy who's still shown he can be an elite relief pitcher, whereas those guys were really kind of they were at the tail end of their careers to begin with. But Douglas Ferguson, if we could get hand, that would be the bomb. There was talks last year. I don't think it's going to happen this year. Wasn't Brian Wilson? Yes, John Izzles. We got Kevin. I agree. Raider Mike. I love Freeze. David Freeze. You gotta love David Freeze. What he's been able to do. He's been incredible. The Freeze man is just ice hot. I love it. Logan Jones. Should we try to trade for a second baseman? Yes, that's what I was saying earlier. I think that. Look, yes, Kike, what he can do with the glove is nothing short of phenomenal. He is an elite fielder, but his strikeout rate is just something that this is a league where it's home runs. I mean, we're on pace right now to have more foul balls than hits in Major League Baseball, right? We're on pace to have more home runs. And you look how it is. It's boom or bust. So balls in play is at an all-time low. So really, to take advantage of that, and the same thing with Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor, it's hard to take advantage of his skill set because what does he do great? He does great with his ability to get on base and use his speed. But really, how do you utilize that speed if you're not getting on base? And really, he struggled in that respect. But here we go. We got S. Dodger. S. Dodger doesn't want to see Mad Bum in L.A. We got Raider Mike. We got S. Dodger. Barnes needs some credit for how he works well with the staff. They love pitching to him. I agree with you. They do love and respect Barnes because he really has that chemistry. He knows how to call a game, and he's a leader out there, and he's someone that the Dodgers look to in situations as far as handling the pitching staff, and that's a lot for someone like Will Smith because the Dodgers have their sights set on the World Series. So you're going to bring in Will Smith as a rookie, and he's going to be catching the likes of Ryu, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, guys in the World Series games at 24. I think Austin Barnes, he's been there. You just got to see what he can do because he has improved at the plate. Before he went out with the injury, he was hitting well at the plate. But here we go, Mark Chum. We just need some experienced closers. Close the doors. Yes, I agree with you on that too. The Dodgers, look, Dave Roberts is not the perfect manager. But one of the things is he is a manager that had zero experience going into this. So what do you do to help that? You give him a push-button bullpen. You give him a bullpen where you don't allow him to overthink certain situations. You make it really easy, and if they do get a Doolittle, if they get a Giles, if they get a Will Smith, someone that's a clear-cut bridge guy to Kenley Jansen, it really makes it easy, especially considering your starters are going 7 innings deep. They're going 7 innings deep. You just need a setup guy. You need a bridge. And then you get to Kenley Jansen, and that's all she wrote. So I'm with you on that. We got Strange. I'd take Baumgartner as he will bring that big-time intensity to this team. Look, he's a Dodger. He's a Giant. We're the Dodgers. There's just some moves you don't make. I understand that Babe Ruth went to the Yankees, but he didn't go back, right? Like, there's certain moves you don't make. We don't want Madison Baumgartner. Also, just think about this. I mean, look, he pitched okay today, but his ERA is over 4, all right? And you really don't think that who is he pitching better than for the Dodgers? I don't think he's pitching better than anyone. Maybe you bring in Baumgartner and he can be the setup guy if he wants to take that role. Obviously, I'm just kidding, but really, I don't think that Baumgartner would really pitch better than anyone we currently have in that rotation. Alvarez Seager is really picking up. He's his average every series, and it's really showing. Jamie, Bochy probably wish he walked Seager 4 times instead of Belly. Haha. Great point, Jamie. That was something that we learned yesterday, that Corey Seager has what it takes to step up, and you can't pitch around. If you're gonna intentionally walk Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager's a guy that can make you pay. Raider Mike, get hand. We got Jamie Connors, Stan, California, Mark Chung. Kelly, what are people saying about Kelly? Get him out or keep him out? Last 3 times he's 3 scoreless appearances for Kelly. That ERA is still about 7.72, but top 5 in spin rate, top 5 in velocity. It's just about command. So I'm really thinking that I just got this feeling that Joe Kelly. By the way, happy birthday, Joe Kelly. I believe today's his birthday. That he can snap out of it, and he can look like that elite relief pitcher that mowed down Dodgers in the World Series, that mowed down Astros last year in the ALCS. So I think it can happen. I like it. Strange. Baumgartner marted to the BP. So that's what I just said. I think I like the idea. Why don't we just get Baumgartner and just DFA him or just not play him at all? Really, just make him suffer. That'd be a nice extra chapter. Strange, we got Maeda. Logan, would trade Ruiz in a package deal since we know what Will Smith can do. Honestly, Ruiz, his ceiling is higher offensively. And Ruiz, he's only 20, so I would still hold on to Ruiz unless it was someone extremely elite that you had the agreement that he would sign long term. So it's kind of depending on a case by case. Of course, I don't think anyone other than really, May's pretty much untouchable, but I don't know. I don't think I would really make that move. Joe Ramos, trade Smith and the new guys for pitchers. Raider Mike, what second baseman should we get? Like I was saying earlier, I think that that's something that you really, really could explore. So I think that I would definitely do that. I would do maybe Merrifield or, the options are really limitless. If you could find a way to get Rendon and you shuffle things around, but that has been a problem position as far as batting goes. So we got Joe Mendoza. Kelly has to be sent down. If that doesn't work, trade him. Hey, 3 straight scoreless appearances by Kelly. I think you keep going with him until he figures it out. If that velocity dipped, if the spin rate wasn't where it was, it's really just about getting first pitch strikes for Joe Kelly. And if he can get that done, I think that you could start to see him turn it around. So I'm not giving up on Joe Kelly just yet. We'll see if that bobblehead night, the birthday, he can turn the chapter. It can be a fresh new start for Joe Kelly. Get Mad Max Scherzer. They were saying the other day that the Nationals were not going to move Scherzer, that despite their record, that they weren't going to let him go. But let's see here. Jose Mendoza. Raider Mike Giles, thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Raider Mike, no Kimber. We talked about that earlier. I agree with you. Sam Walker, starting pitching is the best in Major League. Also, Jansen is still a great closer. That is a fact, what you just said. Jansen is still a great closer. Imagine if what his ERA would be if he didn't give that walk-off home run in San Diego. So that was the difference there. Joe Ramos, Dodgers never strike right away. They wait for the picture to get pulled. That's a big problem. Only Cody's hitting from the start. The Dodgers need to steal bases. They leave too many players behind. We got Lori Monty, Logan Jones. All the games of the Giants are always close. You're right. I mean, the Dodgers, you got to throw out the records. When the Dodgers play the Giants, you know it's going to get real because of the history, because that's really all they have to play for is that. But you know what? The Dodgers, what makes me want to bring up, I want to give you guys one of my favorite moments with the Dodgers and the Giants. Of course, You got to love the Steve Finley walk-off grand slam to clinch the NL West title, sending the Dodgers to the postseason for the first time since 1996. So for the first time since 1996, the Dodgers, of course, because of that Steve Finley walk-off, were able to go. And I love that. It's probably my favorite moment. But how about back in 1993? Despite going 103-59, the Giants were kept out of the playoffs after getting thrashed by the Dodgers 12-1 on the last day of the season. So that must have been pretty sweet. I'm not going to act like the Giants haven't prevented the Dodgers from postseason appearances, but for the Dodgers to keep a 103-win team, which is the franchise most since 1905 from the playoffs because of the Atlanta Braves, I think that's just glorious. So I love that. But yep, Whit Merrifield from the Royals, I think that's someone I would look at. And I would definitely consider a right-handed bat. But here we go. Max Muncy, Dilly from Anita. James Centeno, Dodgers. We got Joe Ramos, get Matthew Boyd. That's interesting. Greg Chadwell up in California, Giants, Redwoods. Brian Torres, let's pick up Brad Hand. A lot of people in the comments, you guys really want Brad Hand. So that's someone, he's stellar. He's a guy who has proven he can do it, and he can do it on big stages, and he can do it when it matters most. And he's a guy that has been in talks about potentially wearing that Dodger blue for a lot of years now. So we got Liriano as a cheap alternative. Logan Jones, let's trade for Whit Merrifield. That's what I was saying earlier. We got Logan Jones from the Royals. We got Greg Chadwell. Giants are always in play for the Dodgers, though. Raiders, Mike, just seeing what Maxie said. If you don't want me to look at the ball, get it out of the ocean. I hopped on here right after the game so I didn't see that, but that's hilarious. I love that. I can't wait to check that out. Max Muncy. Don't mess with Mad Max, okay? Because not only will he go deep on you for his 13th Jack of the Year, but he'll talk some smack to you right after the game. That's what Max Muncy did. Saros, great takes. 1985. Thanks, Saros. Greg Chadwell. Baumgartner just likes to get in your head. Muncy. That's the thing about Baumgartner. Baumgartner, look, he's 2-6 from 2016 on against the Dodgers, okay? The Dodgers, he thinks he's that golden pitch against the Royals, Baumgartner, and he's not that pitcher anymore. He's only 29, I believe, too. So he's pitched a lot of big innings. Doesn't seem like he's that guy, but today he looked impressive, and it looked like he'll bump that trade stock up. Joseph Megazzini, Kenley looked great. Yes, Kenley Jansen, he definitely looked great out there, and he looks like he's got that confidence. And I just love the fact that Kenley's going out there, and he's using the Giants in a 1-0 game up at San Francisco as almost a way to develop new pitches, because he was out there throwing sliders instead of cutters in situations where we've seen that cutter in years past, but he looks like he's developing more of a pitches, and the percentages show that. He's going with his cutter less. He's developing a slider, but you look at him this year, 25 games, 2-1 record, ERA of 3.16, 26 innings, and look at his strikeouts to walks, 38-5. So that's 37-5. Only giving up 4 home runs. We know that Hunter Renfroe, Jack, was really why that ERA is goose. So I like what I'm seeing with Kenley, but you can't rely on that because we've seen what happened. Yes, if you're in Kenley's defense, you don't put him out there for a 5-out save, for a 6-out save, because that's not what he's built for. But you got to give him some insurance. You got to give him a guy that if he's not working out, that can, or not even that, he's going to work out. He's a guy who has the stuff to be an elite closer. But really, you got to get someone, because Baez, yes, it'll tell you that he had a scoreless inning, but man, that was serious contact. Could have been Jackson, other stadiums. He allowed that walk, and I'm not liking that. Vasquez from the Pirates, Logan Jones, our trade guru, one of our experts, Tim Rogers, that's a guy who he really likes from the Pirates. And the Pirates, they're a team that look like they could be a partner. They have a history of dealing with the Dodgers, and I'm sure the Dodgers will definitely consider that. Tina, Dilly, I love it. Raiders, Mike, Kenley is back to form. Kenley Jansen, like I said, guys, this is going to be a long season. We're going to have peaks and valleys with a lot of these guys, but the idea is just to keep guys even keel, let guys work their way out of slumps. And Kenley Jansen is a guy who looked like he had command issues early. Remember, he's a guy who's dealing with his weight was fluctuating. He had come off a serious heart surgery, and he was dealing with a little some stuff mentally, but he looks like a guy where you can feel there's a calmness and a poise now with Kenley Jansen, and I like what I'm seeing. Garrett or Iglesias from Cincinnati. Those are other names that I would definitely look for. I would probably prioritize some guys ahead of that we talked about earlier, but those are other interesting names, especially, like I said, Reds are good trade partners, and their season is going down the drain quickly here. We got Greg Chadwell, Eric Osley, yes, Dwight Ellis. Make sure we are rested in August, headed to the playoffs. Great question. I mean, great point there. You know, he could have gone longer with Maeda a couple days ago. He could have gone longer with Walker Buehler today, but the Dodgers know what's at stake, and you don't want to burn guys out too early on. You want to keep guys fresh, and you also want to help guys get confidence in other areas. But we got Ronnie Lee, Memphis-born, LA swag, go Dodgers. Nice. You need to get a shirt like this, something. You like Memphis-born, LA Rays, something like that. You can do something custom. But no, before, make sure you cop one of these, though. Go to the Dodgers Nation website. We got NY Giants 92, go Dodgers. Logan Jones, Simi Valley, California. Danny Majerus, Ryu Pitcher of the Month for June. I think that I'm going with I think Ryu could definitely make another run at it. He's definitely going to be the all-star starter. He's the favorite to win the Cy Young. But I think that Walker Buehler, we've seen with him in his last 2 starts, I think he's the pitcher of the month as of right now. Yes, Danny, I'm with you. I like him from the Royals. Merrifield, Randall Etheridge, Jansen velocity is up. Yes, Jansen is hitting 94. That velocity is where it needs to be, and the cut is cutting like it is. And the more he develops, the more confidence he gets in this slider and these off pitches. Look for him to potentially evolve even more and be a more confident Kenley moving forward. Rodney Taylor, Greg, I agree. We absolutely don't need Puig, but he would just be another guy. We got Tina, he's just a chappy kind of guy. Logan Jones, I don't think that nobody wants his bobblehead for Joe Kelly. I think that you got to get it. Hey, man, you never know. He gets out of that slump, and you just got your bobblehead could raise in value. We got Behana 55. Dodger fans need to be realistic. We can't just get every big name thinking it's a sure thing. Look, it's not our money. And, you know, we're a franchise that has a drought. We haven't won the World Series since 1988, so we want to make moves that could get us closer to that. I don't fault Dodger fans for having lofty goals and expectations as far as trade targets, but we've seen under Friedman, I gave you the numbers earlier, Friedman has been very active, more than 40 players from June to August, and so he's a guy who's going to make a move. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of who. As Dodger, Vasquez, and Crick from the Pirates. All right, guys. So let's see here. So it looks like we're a little over an hour here. I'm down to keep kicking it, but another big win by the Dodgers. They get it done, and it was a pitcher's duel. Walker Buehler got his thing. We talked a little bit about the offense. Walker Buehler had a great game. Kike's still struggling. CT3 struggling. Corey Seager looks like he's turned the corner, and that really he's gotten out of that, I wouldn't call it a slump, really, is that really he's turning into the Corey Seager that we know he's capable of being. But that's going to do it for today's postgame show. So, guys, thanks again for checking us out. For all you guys who rocked with us for the whole show, you rocked with us for the entire 112 minutes. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourself some hearts. We'll talk a lot about a lot of Dodger things on Tuesday night. So we're going to break it all down once again Tuesday night. We'll be back then. But don't forget to follow me over at DMAC_LA. You can find me on Twitter at DMAC_LA. I'll follow you guys back. Hit me up. We'll talk Dodger baseball all day, every day. But hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Go Dodgers. Dodgers get the win. I love LA, and I'm out.